Welcome into a victory edition of Browns Live. Nathan Zegura joined now by the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And obviously, as you can see, the Browns in the midst of their COVID protocols, enhanced protocols right now to keep everybody safe as we get ready for this game against the Patriots on Sunday. But first, Coach, let's take a look back at the Browns' 41-16 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. I know it was a big game for your football team with a lot of kind of things going on that week, and yet you come out, your team turns in obviously the best complete performance of the season. What did you learn about your team, and what are the big takeaways?
Can I start with takeaways? You say that. So we got three of them. And, you know, Nathan, we make sure to call those takeaways. We don't call them turnovers because there's an act involved in taking that ball away. So we've been preaching it. It was great to see them show up on Sunday. None bigger than Denzel on the 1 yard line, taking it 99.
Coach, and those takeaways, you've been stressing them and you've been preaching them. John Johnson moves a little closer to the line of scrimmage more this week. He's involved with two. AJ Green comes right off the bench. He's right there, Johnny on the spot to get that fumble. You kind of told me, I think last week you said, and I talked with Anthony Walker, once we get one or two, it's just going to start flowing. Do you feel like you're kind of turning the corner in that critical department to get wins?
Well, you know, obviously we hope so, but we're going to make sure we keep drilling. We're going to make sure that we keep teaching the techniques and having the mentality that ball is ours. And that's really what it has to be. I've said it before, that you don't speak anything into existence. So what we're trying to do is work the techniques, emphasize the mentality so that this becomes a big part of who we are. That's what we want to be. We want to be all about the ball.
The defense certainly was all about the ball, limiting what had been a high-flying Bengals offense to 16 points in this one. And your offense, darn good in its own right. Took a while for them to get on the field, but when they did, what did you see from your offense? And I thought a great marriage of the run and pass in Cincinnati.
Yeah, you know, took a while to get on the field, and then I think only had 49 plays. Had a good average per clip with Donovan's big play, with Nick's big play. So there's room to grow. I thought that we talked about some of those shots were there. We hit them. We're going to continue to have to do that. I thought the run game was pretty efficient. And then Nick took over at times in that game. But I think there's always room to grow. And that's the thing that sticks out to me.
I want to ask, though, this ground game, you mentioned it, your guards, so important to what you do, the way that they pull, both rewarded this week with contract extensions that will keep them with the Browns through 2025. What do Wyatt and Joel bring to this team week in and week out, and obviously to this offense?
Yeah, very well deserved for both of those guys. And we have a varied run attack. You know, we run our zone scheme, we run our pin and pull, we run gap schemes. So they allow us to do that, the versatility that those two guys have, and really everybody across the front. In particular, you know, Wyatt, he's a tenacious football player. He plays hard. He plays through the echo of the whistle. He sets the tone for us as an offense. And then Joel is just, you know, so consistent, so good in pass pro in the run game. Never misses a rep, never misses a practice, on point with everything we're doing. So he's a pro's pro, and I'm glad that he'll be with the Cleveland Browns for a long time.
And Coach, your quarterback in a week where there was turmoil, there was noise, comes out incredibly efficient, throws the ball to all three levels of the field, uses the entire width of the field, and turns in, I think, one of his better games as a Cleveland Brown on I thought a big stage for him to do so. What did that tell you about number 6?
I said it after the game. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's kind of how Baker operates. Baker, he's all about football. He's all about his job. He hones in on what he has to do to help this team to win. That's what we expect from him. He's the leader of the team. So I never got the sense that his performance or his week was anything but the guy that shows up every day to work.
It certainly does, and your team showed up to work, and they're going to have to do that again. We'll talk later in the show about the Browns taking on the New England Patriots this Sunday. Coach, when we come back, though, on Browns Live, the Hoff, Joe Thomas, joins the program. We will go inside the film room, look at some of the big plays against the Bengals, plus this week's Player Spotlight with Troy Hill.
The thing about 7-Up is it always looks good, sounds good, and tastes good. There's nothing like the crisp, clean, refreshing taste of 7-Up.
Did you know tires from Conrad's include everything you need to deliver maximum life and performance? Lifetime rotations and balancing, flat repairs, wheel alignment inspection, plus 3 years of road hazard protection. Count on Conrad's for the best total value. Right now, get up to $120 off instantly on a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires when you use your Bridgestone CFNA credit card.
Subject to credit approval.
Bridgestone, official tire of the Cleveland Browns, proudly sold at your hometown.
Hey girl, you look bored as heck. I think it's time for a little vibe check, please. Here, have a Snapple. Let's have some fun. Who, me? Sure, everyone. Do yourself a flavor with Snapple. Now this new bottle's a vibe.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgages dedicated to getting it done.
Thank you for coming today. I'd like to read a brief statement. As the special meals coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, I'm proud to have drafted Mid's True Sicilian Pasta Sauce with our first pick. Made in Ohio for over 60 years, he's a hometown hero. From hearty meat sauce to classic marinara, there's no doubt Mid's is ready for Sunday dinner. We know the taste is there, though his skills on the field will need improvement. But we're working on it. Day in and day out. He practices about 3 days a week.
Touchdown, Mitchell! He's done it again!
Cleveland Browns fans, joining our season ticket member waitlist has its benefits. From exclusive team content to first access to single game tickets, membership starts at just $100 per seat. Joining the waitlist is the first step to becoming a season ticket member and getting these special benefits.
The Browns are winners again!
Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets for more information about the waitlist and your chance to be a part of the Browns' future. Welcome back into Browns Live, and oh boy, I've been waiting for this moment because the Hoff is joining me. Hoff, the season on the brink, backs against the wall. We're a desperate football team. We heard all of that last week. A little turmoil along the way, and the Browns go down to Cincinnati, to Paul Brown Stadium, take on the 5-3 Bengals, and turn in their most complete performance of the season. What did you think watching the Browns 41-16 over the Bengals?
Yeah, most important game probably of the Kevin Stefanski era. The season hanging in the balance, and we got the best version of the Cleveland Browns. They were able to run the football. They played aggressive, tough, dominating defense, and Baker Mayfield may have had his finest moment as a professional.
That's right. We have the leading sack master in the NFL in Myles Garrett, and they say the defense is at its best when you marry the pass rush with the coverage. The Browns certainly did that against the Bengals, and Troy Hill was a part of both. 2 sacks, a career high, not to mention great coverage on the 4th down that I thought really changed this football game, and he joins us now in this week's Player Spotlight presented by McDonald's.
All right, we're joined now by Browns cornerback Troy Hill. And Troy, you're coming off a game that you probably never experienced before, where you got involved in the backfield not once, not twice, but 3 times, technically only 2 sacks, but you were all around the football. What was that like to be involved in that kind of fashion?
It's always exciting. It's different when you play in corner. You never, like you said, you never really get involved in that way. But, I mean, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? I was able to make plays for my team and be a factor out there and help us get that win. So, I mean, it was really exciting right there. My eyes lit up a few times when I got them sacks, so I was excited about it.
And what about this defense allows a slot corner like yourself to make plays like that? Because we've seen this in the past, too. Previous slot corners in Joe Woods' defense seem to always find their way around the quarterback.
I just feel like it's a compliment to the play calls and to our safeties to be able to come in and do what they do and match up, and linebackers do what they do. And it's a defense that go hand in hand with the players, because if we didn't have some of the players that we had, I feel like it wouldn't be as effective.
The secondary's dealt with some injuries all throughout the season, but it seemed like you guys were all healthy at the right time Sunday in Cincinnati and played your guys' best game of the season. What kind of came together for you guys, and what is next for this group in the second half of the season?
I think we just gotta take it one day at a time, keep growing and keep getting better. I mean, it's obviously a stepping stone. It's a way for us to gain confidence in each other and ourselves individually, but I've always been one type of person who always taking one day at a time and never really look too much into certain things, because you gotta come out there and every Sunday you gotta earn your respect. So I feel like we gotta come out there and just keep executing, keep growing, and we look up at the end of the season and see where we was at.
Now, Browns Live is all about the fans, and we've got a question from Kevin Conway who asks, do you attribute any of your gritty style of play to growing up in Youngstown, Ohio?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I said it often. I mean, that kind of gave me the foundation growing up in Youngstown of who I am as a person, and the style of the city and everything. It kind of like made me who I am. You kind of got to be tough and hardworking growing up out there, I would say, and grew up with brothers and things like that. I was one of the youngest, so I had to, fight, and I had a brother who was bigger than me, and we would play football in the front yard, and I wasn't gonna go out like that, just let him run up and down the field on me. So, I attribute that, of course.
And how important is it over this second half of the season to kind of stack performances like the ones that the defense has put up of late? You guys aren't allowing many points, but still a lot of games left in the remainder of this season.
I feel like it's playoff football, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you come into this time, it's all about getting ready for them playoffs and peaking at the right time and things like that. So I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's very important. I'll give it a 10 to just be able to keep stacking, and you want to find your groove around this time of the season. So when you do hit, you know what I'm saying, you hit in the playoffs, you just continually running, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's very important right now.
All right, Troy, thank you so much, and good luck Sunday in New England.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
You love to see Troy Hill that happy. What a performance by him and the two former Rams, Troy Hill, John Johnson. Remember, Zach Taylor comes from that Sean McVay tree. Maybe some familiarity there and a change as well. You saw Hill blitzing. You saw what he does in the run game, but John Johnson was joining him close to the line of scrimmage, off double the snaps in the slot or in the box compared to any other game this season. Jeff Howard, the Browns DB coach, told me that was intentional. We wanted to get him around the ball. The result, 2 takeaways directly tied to John Johnson.
We might be seeing a lot more of John Johnson down in the box the rest of the season, because the success was obvious and it happened early and often in that game. And I think they really wanted John Johnson down there because he could listen to the play call. He could listen to the audibles, and he could get a sense for everything that was going on and help communicate his knowledge of that offense to the rest of the guys in the front seven. It paid off. This was probably the Browns defense best performance of the season.
That's right, Hoff. It was the Browns defense's best performance of the year, and all got kicked off on the opening drive with a big pick 6 from Denzel Ward. We're going to hop into the film room, and we're going to take a look at that, as well as Baker's beautiful bomb to Donovan Peoples-Jones when Browns Live returns.
Let's take a quiz. What should you look for when choosing a lawyer? Competent counsel, fair compensation, personal attention, experience? Yeah, it's a pretty long list. The fact is, choosing a lawyer is a critically important decision and well worth researching. That's why Elk & Elk is the right choice. Our team has recovered over $1 billion for our clients and has experience trying cases just like yours. Elk & Elk. Every client, every day.
As a family-owned and operated business now in its 3rd generation, we believe in the handshake. We believe in having a relationship with our customers that gives them the peace of mind that they can call us at any hour and we can help them with any problem that they have or any special circumstance. As I've grown in this industry, I've tried to instill the different things that my grandparents did, the different things that my dad has done to make people feel that they truly are at the best place in private EMS.
The thing about 7-Up is, it always looks good, sounds good, and tastes good. There's nothing like the crisp, clean, refreshing taste of 7-Up.
Hey girl, you look bored as heck. I think it's time for a little vibe check, please. Here, have a Snapple. Let's have some fun. Who, me? Sure, everyone. Do yourself a flavor with Snapple. Now this new bottle's a vibe.
Welcome back to Browns Live. Nathan Zegura and the Hoff, Joe Thomas. And Hoff, before we get in the film room, and boy, I wish we had more time because I would have loved to break down Nick Chubb's 70-yard run where Wyatt Teller pulls into the hole, goes airborne like Superman, spears a Bengal out of the way, and Nick Chubb does the rest. By the way, nice job by Harrison Bryant and Jed Wills on that one as well. But Wyatt Teller, phenomenal season last year, phenomenal season again this year, rewarded with a 4-year contract extension by this organization. What was your reaction when you saw that news?
Well, I was so excited. Obviously, anytime my big boys inside are getting paid, I'm happy. But kudos to General Manager Andrew Berry and for being able to find a way to get Nick Chubb and Wyatt Teller signed for the long term into the future. Because last summer, I remember that was the conversation. You can only keep Nick Chubb or Wyatt Teller because you don't have enough money to go around to all of them. Andrew Berry said, no, I'll find a way. Trust in me. He was able to get both of those guys signed. Both of the key cogs in this running game are going to be around for a long time, and that makes an offensive lineman pretty happy.
It makes everybody very happy, as does what we're going to see in this week's edition of the Play Breakdown presented by Microsoft. And we're going to start with, I think, the play that set the tone for the Browns' huge win down in Cincinnati. It would be 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. The Bengals would come out 2 receivers to the right. They're going to send Tyler Boyd on a deep cross here, kind of run a little bit of a mesh, a little natural pick in here. And then you're going to get Jamar Chase, one of the best young receivers in the game, running like he's running a slant and then trying to get out. And the Browns do a great job. They end up doubling Boyd, as you'll see as this play unfolds here. The Browns have a nice coverage. Joe Woods called up the exact perfect play for this one because as you see it unfold here, Joe, here's the mesh. The Browns get a double here. You have Takk McKinley dropping into the throwing lane and Greg Newsome covering here. And then look at Denzel Ward. This break on the ball to undercut that route, Joe, that is elite stuff.
Impressive job here by Denzel Ward, playing some of his best football of his career right now. He was left one-on-one with Jamar Chase in this. And you can see if you go back to the beginning, he's lined up with a little bit of an inside leverage with a little bit of a hip turn towards the quarterback so he can eyeball the quarterback, and he's taking away that slant. Well, you know who else sees that? Joe Burrow sees that, right? So Joe Burrow's thinking, hey, man, we got him right where we want him, right? Because he knows this is the jerk route that's coming, right? A jerk is they start the slant and he works back towards the pylon. And if Joe Burrow leaves it outside or high and outside, because Denzel Ward starts to the inside, he'll never be able to get it. Wrong. Because Denzel Ward has one of the best breaks on the football in all of the NFL. You can see Denzel Ward sees this play coming the entire time. He's initially taken away that slant with his body presence with that inside leverage. So he doesn't have to worry about jumping the slant because he's already taken it away. So all he has to do is eyeball Joe Burrow and wait for that moment when that hands come apart, just like they are right there, because he knows the ball is being delivered now. He can break on that ball, use that elite quickness that he has to jump in front, come downhill, and off to the races. And the rest is history, taking the ball almost 100 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. And the only thing I had to worry about was, big fella, don't get in his way. Don't trip him up on the way to the end zone. It was not to be, and Denzel Ward scores the longest touchdown that I can remember in a really, really long time for the Browns.
Well, sometimes they say, if you can do anything, I can do it better. The defense, long touchdown. The offense says, hold my beer. Here we go, trying to get a big answer. And this comes after a 4th down stop by Troy Hill. Great coverage on that play. The Browns take over at the 40, and Kevin Stefanski, he felt that momentum switch, dials up a shot play here to the Hoff, and Baker Mayfield and Donovan Peoples-Jones do the rest.
A lot of times you want to try those shot plays, those special plays that you've got drawn up just for this week, kind of around midfield between the 40s. That's exactly where Kevin Stefanski found himself when he called this play, which is a little bit of a version of what we would call stutter pass O. The O means the tight end's coming across the formation in motion, and he's going to block out on that edge defender. In this case, he doesn't have to block him. He could just run a route because he sees that it's man coverage, right? Everybody on the front side of the offensive line is blocking down. Joel Bitonio is pulling around, blocking the end man on the line of scrimmage, one-on-one. And as long as that block is secure on the front side with Joel, that's where the stress is. Everybody else on the back has got easy block backs. Most of them are 2-for-1s. And then it's all about what can happen in the secondary. And Donovan Peoples-Jones does an incredible job setting up this post corner. And David Njoku does a great job in the middle of the field drawing coverage. It looks like the Bengals are in sort of a split safety cover 4 type defense. They get Von Bell to jump the underneath route, which is all Baker Mayfield needs to see to know that he can leave it deep into the inside with Donovan Peoples-Jones. And with his speed, nobody's going to be able to catch him.
Listen, pure joy, 41-16. Inject that into my veins every single week. Huge game. The Browns come through. Another big one, though, coming up when you have to deal with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Hoff, what do the Browns have to do to keep this going and get to 6-4?
Well, you got to know where you're predictable. What are your tendencies in certain formations and certain personnel groupings? And know that the Patriots are going to have a check for every one of those things. So you got to play chess. You can't play checkers with Bill Belichick. You got to predict what he's going to do from an adjustment standpoint to all of your tendencies and then come up with the counter to those things. That's how you beat the Patriots.
Hopefully the Browns will take a listen to that and implement it, and I'll talk with the man responsible for that. Head coach Kevin Stefanski joins Browns Live next to talk about the Browns and the Patriots this Sunday. Browns fans, you can now train like the pros at Browns Fit. Our 20,000 square foot state-of-the-art fitness facility is open. Browns Fit creates a safe and healthy environment for members and guests and showcases the latest in innovative fitness technology with personal training and much more. Located in the flats of downtown Cleveland on the second floor of the Aloft Hotel. Specials for Browns Fits are available for a limited time, so act now. Visit us at brownsfit.com today to become a member and train like the pros.
I'm Graham.
And I'm Fisk.
And we're the founders of
Graham and Fisk Wine in a Can.
100% California award-winning wine in a proven package. And announcing our Rookie of the Year, 8.4 ounces of award-winning California wine.
We've got red, we've got white, we've got rosé with bubbles, and we've got white with bubbles.
All with Wine Enthusiast Magazine Best Buy Awards. You can buy and get delivered right to your door by visiting grahamandfisk.com or from participating local retailers.
Cleveland Browns fans, joining our season ticket member waitlist has its benefits. From exclusive team content to first access to single game tickets, membership starts at just $100 per seat. Joining the waitlist is the first step to becoming a season ticket member and getting these special benefits.
The Browns are winners again!
Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets for more information about the waitlist and your chance to be a part of the Browns' future.
A parent or spouse, a neighbor or friend, we care for the lives entrusted to us with technology, medicine, expertise, and passion, delivered with understanding and support. Not just addressing heart and vascular problems, truly caring for you as a person. We are University Hospital's Harrington Heart and Vascular Institute, and we are here for you.
Welcome back into Browns Live, joined once again by the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, as we get ready for this week's game preview presented by Ticketmaster, the 5-4 Browns, the 5-4 New England Patriots. And Coach, one thing I like to look at for a team, where are they in scoring offense? Where are they in scoring defense? They're number 10 in scoring offense, number 4 in scoring defense. Second week in a row where you've tasted a team that's in the top 10 of both of those categories. Usually a pretty good indication of how a team's doing. And this is a good New England Patriots team.
Yeah, they really are. It's a good team. I think that they understand how they want to play. They're taking the ball away quite a bit, so that is setting up their offense on some short fields. And then their offense is doing a really nice job. They're physical. The young quarterback's playing at a high level. They're really good on third down. So it's going to be quite the challenge for us.
You mentioned that defense, 13 interceptions, that leads the NFL. Quarterback rating allowed, lead the NFL. J.C. Jackson, one of the true elites in the game, 5 interceptions already this season. You know, when you put this D on tape, what do you see? What jumps out at you?
Yeah, well, 27 is a good place to start. I think J.C. Jackson's a great corner. He plays tight in coverage. He's got incredible ball skills. So teams have really, found out the hard way that this guy is a great player. Then they're really all 3 levels, big, physical, can rush the passer. We know Judon well, haven't played against him in Baltimore, but a very physical group. And then I tell you, the other thing that sticks out to you as you're watching it and as you're game planning is they're very, very multiple. So they can play in their base 5 guys on the line of scrimmage out of an odd or an under front. They can kick into sub versus any personnel. It's not unusual for them to play nickel versus 22 personnel, which you really don't see across the league a lot. So we'll have to see what their plan is for us. They are a game plan defense. They'll adjust what they're doing based on the team they're playing. So we'll have to make some adjustments on Sunday.
Is there something intriguing to you about matching wits with Bill Belichick?
I don't know if intriguing is the word. He's a great coach. And I don't think he needs, or our audience needs me to tell everybody how good a coach he is. I got a ton of respect for him. I have a ton of respect for how he's run his program, how he wins, the style of play. So we have to play our best. And we as coaches, we have to coach our best to try and come away with a victory.
Mentioned their offense, and it starts with their young quarterback, the rookie Mac Jones, who's been very efficient this year, high completion percentage, takes care of the football for the most part. What stood out about him and what they're doing with him after, decades of greatness from Tom Brady in New England?
He's doing a nice job operating. I think he's getting them in and out of their plays. He's making plays from the pocket. He's making plays on third down, certainly. So I just think the run attack, the pass attack, it looks very efficient to me. And he's right in the middle of it. He's really been a very, very efficient player getting through his progressions. He can push the ball down the field. He's really impressive to watch when you think about this as a rookie player.
Coach, when you think about Bill Belichick, a lot of people think, one of the great strategists, a great leader. When I think everybody in Cleveland who's been here for your tenure, they think about you, they think about a great leader. And I think that was on full display last week with the performance your team produced and leadership on the team as well to produce that down in Cincinnati. So our question from one of our fans this week comes from Mr. Redway, and he says, who helped shape and develop you into the leader you are today? Someone who is accountable and leads with social and emotional intelligence.
Well, I appreciate the question. I would just tell you the best answer is I don't know. I'm just being me. And what I try and do is I try and get out of the way because we got some great players here. We got some great coaches here, and they do a great job. So I think the one way to lead is to make sure you step back and let those others do their thing.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to what I think will be a great AFC showdown, the Browns and the Patriots this Sunday in Foxborough. So best of luck to you. And folks, we'll have full coverage of that game for you kicking off at 11, Browns Countdown on News 5. Thanks again for joining us for another edition